And we are back, and we just finished watching 2022's Ambulance, rated R, with a runtime of 2 hours and 16 minutes. This is currently streaming on Prime and is directed by Michael Bay, with writing credits to Chris Fedak, and it's based on another film, by Laurits, Munch-Petersen, and Lars, Andreas, Pedersen.
Pedersen and Pedersen?
Yeah.
Was one have 2 T's and one has only one?
Well, one of them has a T and the other one has a D.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. This felt like a 4-hour film, to be honest.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, this was action heavy, but...
Action heavy. I don't think the camera stood still for a single shot. It's the most Michael Bay movie ever.
Yeah.
Cameras spinning around people while they spin around a room, and cameras... I mean, this guy loves dolly shots. He loves his Dutch angles.
He sure does. He sure does.
Lots of, like, blurred lights and just you get car sick watching this movie.
Yeah. In our, I guess, Gyllenhaal double feature, we decided to watch this film. I don't know what people were talking about. Everyone carried on about this film, but it's just okay.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that it was good. I imagine but I heard that it was like good and sort of like, it's like one of those films that nobody really gives any or talks about, but it's so good. Really wasn't.
No.
It wasn't good at all. I mean, it seriously was the dumbest plot, the dumbest characters doing the dumbest things. And
then there was that one scene that made us laugh.
There was one scene that almost redeemed the film. Some nameless character is like shooting a gun at the ambulance. He's like a Mexican cartel guy shooting at the ambulance. Somehow the Mexican cartel gets involved. And another Mexican cartel guy has like a cannon firing grenades, and he shoots a grenade, misses the ambulance, hits blows up the ground next to the guy who is shooting. That guy goes flying through the ambulance's windshield while the ambulance is driving like 100 miles an hour. Somehow he's still alive. Yes. After being blown up and going head first through a windshield. And then he just gets basically pulled out of the ambulance by like triple force or something as it's turning down the block. And he may or may not have been run over by police officers after that. Don't know.
I think you hit the nail on the head. This is the most Michael Bay movie ever. I'm surprised it didn't do bigger numbers. I mean, from what everyone was saying, there was like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm like, I don't know.
No,
I just really watched it, and I don't know if I believe that this is so good.
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal is hamming it up as like the unhinged brother. Yeah. And then I forget the other actor's name. I probably butcher his name anyway. Dr. Manhattan.
Yes, Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's the guy who's like, oh, I got to do this. My wife needs experimental surgery, and I don't have, and the VA is not going to pay my insurance because it's experimental surgery, and so I'm desperate. And who does he do? What does he do? He turns to his brother, Jake Gyllenhaal, who apparently is like a bank robber who's known to have robbed 37 some odd banks. Yet somehow
prior to this,
somehow he seems to have like a thriving
auto shop
business
I don't,
like, what the hell was that?
I don't know.
He's got like this fancy garage. And the plan to rob the bank, you'd figure
was so half-assed. I mean, like, I feel like we could have come up with something better.
It felt like he was just like, oh, there's all these mercenaries here. Let's rob a bank today. And that really felt like what the sum total of the plan was. No attempt to cover his face.
None. He was brazen.
It was the dumbest plan. And like all his guys, he's got all these like macho guys, and like they're getting ready to the heist. They're just like, how much action you seen, bro? Get your balls out, bro. You know, it was just these like just testosterone fest. They're just slathered in testosterone as they're like slapping their clips in their guns and cocking them and just like, yeah, check out my beard. Terrible. And of course the bank heist goes about as well as you would expect, considering there was no forethought or planning involved at all. And somehow he convinces his reluctant brother, who just came to him that day for a loan, just happened to come that, can you lend me money to get experimental surgery for my... And he's just like, hey, I need you. I can't do this without you. What do you mean?
You've done it 37 times before.
You did it 37 times before. Did you not plan this heist at all?
No.
It's not like as though you called him up. You called Will up and were just like, hey, Will, we got this plan coming up. We could really use a great driver. No, he just happened to show up at your weird auto shop with your idiot receptionist guy. Who I
but
guess
the very
was the
cool
comedy
break
relief.
room.
Oh, awesome break room. He's got a Keurig machine. And all of these mercenary guys who are just like, or bank robber guys, I don't know what the hell they're wearing flak jackets and they got big burly beards and guns. These guys are just standing around like, did he just hire him that day? Was it just like, hey,
I think so. Because eventually the guy comes into the room and he's like, is this the guy? And he's like, no, this is not the guy.
Yeah, it's like he put out a Craigslist ad and he's like, hey, Wednesday I'm going to rob a bank. I need some mercenaries.
Please come to this
Please
address.
come to this address. Bring
No
your
vetting.
own. Bring your own guns.
Yeah, no vetting.
No vetting. And we're gonna do the bank robbery in like a delivery truck that breaks down.
This movie was wild. I mean, I don't even know what to think about it.
The whole thing was just monumentally stupid. And then, okay, you're going to get away. Obviously, if you're getting away from bank robbery in some giant delivery truck, you're going to have a plan to ditch the delivery truck and everybody goes off into their own cars. Nah. Even when the plan fell apart and suddenly they find themselves in the ambulance now, they drove around for about 10 minutes. That's another thing. This film, everything dragged. They drove around for 10 minutes. You figure he would have, all right, just drive us to the getaway car.
Yeah.
Why wasn't the getaway car near where they were?
I don't know.
It was like an hour away.
Yeah.
While they have like a dying cop in the back and the EMT
Who's saved
hostage.
by a plastic hair clip.
Who's saved by a plastic hair clip.
Wow. This felt like an extended Baywatch episode.
Yes. If Baywatch was more bloody and had some explosions.
Yeah. And cursing.
This had about the intellectual quality of a typical episode of Baywatch.
I mean, this was written by an 8th grader, this script.
It was just so stupid.
Yeah.
Every stupid thing. And it's, we're getting away. How are we going to get away? I know. I'll call my Mexican cartel buddies. Mm-hmm. Hey, just get a bunch of ambulances so we could do like the big, everybody's wearing the bowler hat like in the Thomas Crown Affair, except with ambulances. And the guys in the Mexican cartels guys are like, yeah, we're going to load it off at C4. We got like like low riders that we can control remotely with miniguns in them. And it's...
I don't know. This movie was wild.
Why are they doing any of that? And it still didn't work.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a nicely filmed movie. And the action sequences weren't as problematic as, like, the Transformer ones, which I hated because I couldn't see anything of what was going on.
Well, that was like the robots, they just look like whirling storms of garbage slamming into each other.
And I appreciated Jake Gyllenhaal's over-the-top performance here because he was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
he must have wanted to do like an action film.
Yeah, he wasn't bringing the Oscar-worthy performance to this one.
But he committed.
Yeah.
I feel like, but yeah, this just didn't do it for me. I don't know what people are talking about.
People are easily entertained, I guess.
It must be either that or I'm just hard to please. But I don't feel like I'm hard to please because I feel like we just saw Roadhouse, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
That's a great comparison because Roadhouse is stupid, but it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
And it's not 2.5 hours long.
Yes.
This
felt
dragged
like 4.
so much. There are so many unnecessary scenes of people just like moving in slow motion and looking in slow motion and walking in slow motion. The camera below them with these like power shots. Like at the end, honestly, when the EMT is walking away, it's just like, and then
my homage to John Woo.
Yeah, and it's just like, and now we got to give the EMT a character arc. So, after all of this, now she realizes maybe I should make more of an effort to connect with people.
I gotta be honest, they could have done away with the ambulance, the EMT, and the cop in the back, and just made it about the two of them.
Yeah, that's a different movie. You needed, it was like MacGuffin City, that you just needed all this.
Did you though?
All this
you know?
No, you really don't, but this film apparently did, because he was really just throwing everything in there. I swear, I bet 90% of those characters were just friends of his. A lot of characters were just completely unnecessary. The cop's partner, the ex-boyfriend doctor who's like, I'm gonna call in my trauma team, who are just on the golf course, and it's just everybody like staring into phones, looking at each other. Oh, you gotta clamp that pancreas.
No, I think it was the spleen.
Don't squeeze that spleen too hard; you'll pop it.
You know, did you watch French Connection with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we recently watched French Connection, and again, not 2 hours long. And I feel like even though that's a movie from the 70s, like it still holds up.
Yeah.
And it was good, and I really liked it. And I hadn't seen it in a long time, and that's why I wanted to see it. But this, like, I guess, like, he wanted to showcase, like, the explosions and the action sequences and, like, kind of delve into the relationship between the two brothers, but
I don't think he cares about any of that.
No?
I really believe that Michael Bay is at a point in his career where he doesn't give a shit about the plot, if it makes sense or anything. It's just like, look, it's got my name on it, and it's going to look like this, and nobody's going to care either. I mean, look at those Transformers movies.
They were horrible.
None of them have. Well, maybe I'm not counting Bumblebee,
right? Because that one's good actually,
but
that wasn't made by him.
All right, it wasn't made by. But all the other ones that were made by him, none of them have a coherent plot at all. None of them have interesting characters at all. Everybody is just standing there, just make me look good, cast me in some good light, get me some of that sexy grit on my face, the dirty sweat on my cheeks, while I stand in slow motion with a ripped shirt, probably holding a gun or a sword for some reason. Just film me nice, and then like have a lot of stuff exploding around me, and people will be happy. And
I don't know if they were happy about this, because this film
worked.
According to IMDb, the estimated budget on this film was $40 million. The worldwide gross receipts is only $52 million.
Yeah, this is a dud then.
Yeah.
But was this even in theaters?
I believe it was.
It was?
Yeah.
I don't remember this being in theater. I thought this was like Amazon just bought it right off the bat.
No. I think this was in theaters. It wasn't in theaters for very long though.
When did it come out?
Last year sometime. In the summer maybe?
Oh, it was a COVID movie.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, it probably went right to streaming then.
I don't think so. It was released April 8th of 2022.
No, I guess
spring.
People still weren't going. I mean, the big one was Spider-Man.
Right. But that was
nothing else did well during that time period, really.
I don't know. I mean, I'm still shaking my head because I'm like, I just don't understand these people that were blowing so much smoke up this movie's ass.
I don't get it either.
This wasn't as thrilling as The Raid or The Raid 2.
I feel like people are very forgiving of Michael Bay movies because they're just like, it's stupid. It's supposed to be stupid. It's not supposed to make sense.
But it's not even good. I mean, it's one thing to be stupid, but it's like, at least be good.
If you want to see a stupid good movie, go see Roadhouse.
Roadhouse, yeah.
All right. I mean, I've ranted about this film enough, I think.
What could have made this better? Legit question. What could have made this better? A different director, obviously.
Cutting an hour off the runtime.
At least an hour.
I honestly...
This shouldn't have been more than 90 minutes.
It should have been more than 90 minutes.
Yeah. This should have only been 90 minutes.
It should have had a script that made some kind of sense. I mean, the fact that he just shows up at his brother's and is just sort of like swept into
this nonsense,
joining a bank robbery, especially one just so poorly planned out. And like Jake Gyllenhaal, it makes it seem like he's like this genius. He's like convincing his brother, and like so convincing. Why? I still don't know why he agreed to do it. He's like so against any sort of like criminal activity. And
yet
there he is.
Well, because the wife needed experimental.
That's another thing. Experimental surgery. It wasn't even like they gave you any indication what was wrong with her or anything. It was just, she needs like a robot heart or I don't know. They got a laser.
I'm trying to think. I feel like seriously, let's think about this. What could have made this film better?
A better script.
It could have. It shouldn't be over 90 minutes. Definitely a better script. Maybe even a different director. Actually, he's not. He's a decent director.
He was kind of leaning real heavy into his usual tropes. Like seriously, rotating the camera around people while they're basically walking around each other, and so many cuts of that.
Yeah, that's very.
It got a little bit overdone.
Yeah.
That scene where he's convincing Will, where they're having their discussion in the garage, and it's just why is this spinning around? Are we supposed to feel this sense of this dynamic charisma from Jake Gyllenhaal's character? Nah, he was annoying. I don't know why Will went along with it. But like that was it was just constant. Even when they're in the ambulance, I think there was a couple of scenes like that.
And my other thing was like, if he's such a master con man that he's actually even gone to college to study the FBI,
why wasn't he better at it?
Why wasn't he?
How did he successfully pull off 37
jobs? Because if this was any indication of what he's capable of, he should have been done after the second one.
Yeah, and if they knew he did this many, why wasn't he in jail already? He had a business in L.A.
Right. And he certainly wasn't trying to hide.
And then like the two heads of the police. There's like the guy with the beard who I guess gets killed.
Yeah, I think so.
And then there's the FBI agent whose only purpose was basically to explain why Jake Gyllenhaal is such a criminal genius. Oh, because we used to hang out in college together.
And his father was
and the only other thing his job was to do was to basically tell the police to back off.
Repeatedly.
And they're like, well, why? Yeah. And he's like, because this is different. And they're like, well, why is it different? Because he wants to get away. That's like literally what he said. He wants to get away.
Which is
no
the
other bank robber.
That's every criminal.
Yeah, it's like out of the realm of bank robbers want to get away. What? He wants to get away, and the bearded guy's just like, oh shit.
This movie was wild.
And the guy's dog. What was the purpose of the dog? So they could have a dog farting joke? Yeah, we had Mongolian beef last night. Oh my God, I'm surprised the dog didn't just like pee on somebody.
He might have.
Oh, that was probably in the extended director's cut.
Yes, the 6-hour version.
The 6-hour version of this movie.
1 to 10.
I'll give this a 4.
I too would give this a 4. I like Jake and stuff, but even Jake couldn't save this.
This was just too brutally stupid. This was like getting hit in the head with a hammer.
Yeah, and way too long. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna be stupid, at least be funny.
Yeah, give me something to joke along with. This was a drag.
It was just that one scene that had us cackling.
Yeah. That was the only if there was more of that.
Yes.
then I may have been satisfied. But this, it really felt like it went on forever. It really did.
I mean, at one point we were like, there's still 22 minutes left to this film.
Yeah. And like when there's so many stupid things. Like when they loaded up the wounded cop into the ambulance, why did he just throw his gun on there? You're a cop. You're supposed to have some sense of gun safety. You're just throwing a loaded gun onto a gurney and then putting an unconscious bleeding man on top of it just so it could appear later on. And I don't know. It was, and that cop should have been dead.
Yeah.
He lost like a gallon of blood, and it's just
maybe more.
Oh, I have O positive blood. I'm a universal donor. Yeah. So they're like siphoning blood out of one of the criminals while he's driving a high-speed chase in a freaking ambulance.
I don't.
And they're all concerned about this cop's safety,
and yet
cop cars are spinning in the air and exploding and smashing into
and people are just
innocent pedestrians' cars are being
into
annihilated.
That ambulance willy-nilly.
There's just gunfire everywhere. Well, so long as the people inside the ambulance are safe, screw everybody else. How many cops did we lose rescuing this guy?
What was the point? I mean, it certainly wasn't for the money, because at the end, the money is just flying.
Yeah, the money's just blowing in the wind. Because that looks cool.
I don't know. This movie was wild. You know, this sort of reminded me of we were talking about the Gospel According to Leon. Somebody should have really had a outline and really planned out this film.
I don't think Michael Bay cares about that. I mean, I'm not even joking. I think that's his business model. I think he knows.
Boom, boom.
He knows it doesn't have to be smart. It doesn't have to make sense, so long as
you got the boom, booms.
It looks pretty and there's explosions and just ridiculous dialogue. People will be fine.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it's worked for him countless times.
Yeah.
And seriously, those Transformers movies, they're all just absolute
shite.
Just absolute dog shit.
Yeah. How does he still get money?
His films make money. I mean, those Transformers movies were.
There is a movie of his that I do want to see with you. I think I've seen it on and off over the years, but I've never sat through it from start to finish. Pain and Gain from 2013. We definitely got to get that on the docket.
Well, I believe that one actually has a plot.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the plot of that is just so insane.
Yeah.
And yet that actually happened. So.
No, maybe he should do more based on a true story, or at least then he has an outline.
I mean, I found that movie entertaining. Like again, I've never sat through start to finish, but I think I've seen at least 85% of that film, and I feel like that movie is entertaining.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Oh, and wait. Before we wrap up, the other thing that I thought was egregious was the callbacks to all of his old movies.
Oh
my God. I was like, this dude is not humble at all.
His ego was exploding in this movie.
It was so what? He referenced The Rock.
He referenced The Rock. He referenced Bad Boys.
What else? Did he reference the Transformer movies?
No, I don't think
Pearl Harbor. No.
You know what? He could have referenced them. I probably wouldn't have caught it, but he may have. But I remember there was at least 3 movies of his that he referenced.
I can't remember now.
I can't remember the third one. But yeah. It was just like, yes, stroke my ego.
Oh my God.
More references to me.
Who does that? I mean, it's like
love me.
Pay attention to me. Like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go see Paddington 2 better. I mean, it's not an action film, but
better action than this thing. But.
Yes, just a better story. I guess you can. That whole train sequence could be an action sequence. That's so damn good, that movie.
Paddington is just.
We don't talk about that enough. It really is.
All right.
Yeah. Skip this. Go watch Paddington 2 or French Connection if you're looking for action. What would you say is a good action? Roadhouse? You're going to recommend Roadhouse?
If you want to watch something stupid that has action in it and that's fun, watch Roadhouse. That is a great, so bad it's good movie.
What other good action? The first Die Hard is excellent.
Oh, yeah. But that's good. That's not so bad it's good.
Yeah, that's
just
good.
Straight up a good movie. Well, both anything Raid, the Raid and the Raid 2. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Pinnacle, the pinnacle of just crazy ass fight choreography.
Jesus, I know I'm spoiled after those movies. What else is a good action movie?
I'm sure there are a bunch that I can't really remember off the top of my head.
Maybe like Jurassic Park.
That's not an action movie.
No. Okay. I don't know.
Fist fighting dinosaurs.
But there's action sequences. It's not considered an action movie.
No.
Really?
No.
I would have.
I'd say if you're gonna like veer away from like the classic action sort of genre, I would say Aliens.
Oh.
Aliens is great.
Second one. I mean, the first one's
first one's amazing, but it's not.
horror.
It's not an action movie. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, but the second one's straight up action. Yeah,
the second one's an action movie.
Terminator.
We're
gonna go the Cameron route.
I mean, just look at Schwarzenegger in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, those are True Lies.
True Lies. That was probably his last really good one.
We were talking about Commando. That's a good. That's ridiculous too.
Commando's like the paragon of just action hero with quips.
Yeah.
You know, he's got like a team of writers.
Running Man was good.
Running Man also quippy.
Total Recall.
Total Recall. You know, it's a good action movie that's just fun. Rumble in the Bronx, which I believe.
Oh yes, we've talked about that with Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Yes, that is good.
Yeah.
What else? Iron Monkey.
Oh yes.
How can we forget that?
Iron Monkey.
Is that that's considered an action film, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, any martial arts film is like an action movie.
Yeah. Any Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
Or most Donnie Yen stuff.
Donnie Yen's in Iron Monkey.
Yeah. I guess all the Wick movies.
Wick, yeah.
Although the first one's still the best one.
Yeah, yeah.
Second one was okay. The third one I didn't really care for.
It
last one looks
all right.
interesting.
They're getting a little into the whole navel gazing sort of thing where it's becoming a bit too, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this last one looks interesting. It looks
We shall
party.
see. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'd definitely watch it too.
That one, yeah, Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, that's right. I was thinking about
gotta
him. That's
watch
why
Donnie
I
Yen.
brought it up. I'm trying to think what else. But there's far superior.
Yeah, this doesn't even like make it into the grade of good action. This is forgettable.
Silly.
Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. We just did, so you didn't have to. We took one for the team.
Yeah, don't believe people when they say this is good.
Yeah, this was not good.
This is a drag.
Yeah. It felt 4 hours long.
But then again, if you're the type of person who loves Michael Bay movies, especially the Transformers,
this might be for you.
There's no robots in it, but it's got every shot that he ever did.
Yeah.
Just
I
gotta be honest, I don't even think he's trying. It's just sort of like, just do that thing that we did in that other movie.
Yeah.
He just
you know what?
throws some old storyboards on the floor and just copy that.
I was just gonna say, do you think a lot of that is that just improvised, like not even like
the thing about this is it's like you're not even trying really. There's nothing new here. You're basically taking all the things that you did that people found innovative or interesting in your movies, and then you're just doing them for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like that rotating shot, like that is 100%. Like that's like right out of Bad Boys. They did that so many times in Bad Boys.
Yeah.
But now it's in a scene that just goes on forever.
Yeah.
And I guess he's like doing a lot of drone shots or crane shots, like going through stuff.
Yeah.
It's and like we're turning around in the corner. Ooh, look at that sign. It's moving.
Yeah.
Everything's rotating. He loves rotating stuff. And it's sort of like, okay,
enough.
You knew it worked once, and now you're just beating it. It's like, oh, a little sugar tastes good, and then you just dump a whole sugar bowl on top of something. No, it doesn't taste good anymore.
Yeah, I'm severely disappointed. I just don't understand people sometimes. I'm seriously miffed when people are like, oh, but it's so good, but it's not. And it's like, I can't be that different. Can I?
Different people like different things.
Like, I mean, not to get off on a tangent, but drive my car.
Yeah, that was
shit.
absolute torture to watch.
Yeah, and yet
people found so much meaning in it, and it's just, no, this is boring as hell.
Yeah.
Just absolute boring. I mean, I feel like I knew more about King Lear than I did about that freaking driver and his whatever.
Was it King Lear? No, it was Uncle Vanya or
Uncle
something.
Vanya, that's
How
what it was.
How could you forget?
I knew it was some play.
We talked about it so much.
Endless Uncle Vanya stuff.
God. All right. Let's wrap this up. Okay, so what did we say? 4 and 4. Yeah, I think. Do yourself a favor and this is a pass. Big time. And go watch something else. Any Schwarzenegger 80s 90s fare will do.
Mm-hmm. Paddington 2 or Roadhouse.
Or Paddington 2 or Roadhouse if you're into that.
Maybe Paddington 3 will be a little bit like Roadhouse.
Paddington becomes the Zen warrior.
Yeah.
Bouncer.
Because the philosophy of Paddington as he just like rips somebody's throat out of it.
Oh my God. I would love to see. Well, now they're doing, what is it? Like Winnie the Pooh horror, and who's the next one? I forgot what the next one is.
I'm sure they're going to come out with a Mickey Mouse thing because the original Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse is in the public domain. So
Ooh.
you know somebody's going to do that. And they'll probably still get sued. Disney will still try and sue them.
Oh, they did announce what it was, but I don't remember. I know the first one was Winnie the Pooh, and that did well, I think.
I mean, if you spend $30 on a movie and it makes $1,000, you're king of the world. So you did well. Yeah.
And horror is just so cheap to make.
Yeah, horror is cheap. You get a guy in a potato sack mask, and you got a horror film. I mean, look at Friday. That's what Friday the 13th was.
Yeah.
Jason's first mask was literally a potato sack.
Crazy. Oh, Predator. Predator is also an excellent.
Yes.
Or Prey.
Oh, Prey.
Prey is excellent too. Yeah, there's definitely better action films out there, gang. So do yourself a favor and absolutely skip this. Yeah. Okay, that's it from us, and we will bid you all a
good night.
Good night.